Yes, I don't care what they say. I just want to apologize for my white privilege. By the way, everybody, my name is Silvio Lee Pantaleones. And my friends call me Sil. Some of them use my middle name, Lee. And then Pantaleones for my last name, but they just call me Pants. Sil Lee Pants. That's my name. I'm friends with Covert Radio. I kind of live in his big house. I rent a little room. But it's high time you guys meet me. Get off the mic, Sil. Well, here comes that big mean man. I just wanted to apologize for my white privilege, and, we're going to get through this. Toodaloos! Toodaloos! Fuck out of here. All right. Sorry about that, guys. And here we are, you know what I mean? Well. Here we are. I had to go out of the room to fetch a couple supplies because I actually tried to record this about 47 times now. And I think this time I can do it. Because I have, you can see my voice is gone. And I started recording at around 8 p.m. Friday night. It is now 4:45 a.m. Saturday morning. I've been dehydrated. I had to get intravenous IV and a lot of Pedialyte, but I'm ready. I have my bucket right here. Okay. I'm going to keep that nice and close. Actually, let me put that over here. Okay. I have my bucket. I got a brand new bottle of Tums. Okay. I went through every package I had, so I had to run out and get an entire bottle. This is 160 chewable tablets. I got those. I have a fresh bottle of Pedialyte. So we have that. And I have a cold compress. And a will to talk to you guys who I respect, I appreciate, and I'm happy that, we're all trying to learn from each other. You know what I mean? What I will not tolerate, though, is ignorance, because there's no excuse for ignorance. There really isn't. In this day and age, if you don't know what you're talking about, then don't talk. And let somebody else talk that does know what they're talking about. Let somebody else talk if you don't know what you're talking about. And then you have people like Sotomayor, who is he's a verbal pugilist. He's a wordsmith. And, he can just make it up as he goes. And he sounds intelligent and he sounds assertive and he sounds confident, but I've proven 1,000 times that if you really fact check what he says, a lot of it is just made up. It's lies. It's all lies. Or it's bent around a very specific agenda. I, on the other hand, Covert Radio, I do all I can to over-explain, over-underline, and back up with multiple avenues of proof. I want people to verify the things that I say. I show you the data. I show it to you. Okay? But I will not sit idly by while ignorant people just blabber and blabber and blabber. See, what Yahoo has become, what YouTube has become is the Yahoo of the 2020s. Yahoo used to have chat rooms. Anybody could go there. Anybody could make one. Anybody could join you, talk about whatever. And that's literally what Yahoo has come. Yahoo is YouTube is a cesspool. But I'll tell you what's fun, okay? And I highly suggest this to anybody. I want you to sign out of your YouTube account, sign out of your Google account, sign out of it all, and clear out your cookies, clear out your history, okay? Maybe reset your device, your phone, your tablet, your computer, whatever, and then go to YouTube without signing in. And you will see just how much control and how much modification has been done for you specifically. I used to call it, and I'm still calling it, the algorithmic prison. Algorithmic prison. That's what YouTube and Google put people in, an algorithmic prison. Because once you click on a video and then another one and then another one and then another one, ooh, what's that? I'm going to click on that ad in that video. Day after day after week after week after month after year, Google has created such a intricate dossier for you personally that they're customizing your entire experience. And I'm really starting to question, because China does this. China has their own internet. They're communist. Other countries have their own internet, who, again, for whatever reasons, they allow this, they don't allow that. They have their own version of Facebook. Maybe they use the actual Facebook. Maybe they have Twitter. Maybe they don't. But the Chinese are the worst. They literally recreated their own version of the internet. And basically what it would be like is a door, I guess you could say, to open to the internet that only the Chinese people can go in and out of. They created the door. And you see a modified version of the internet. You see a modified version of data, stats, information, just like the Kim Jong-un, what's the country? South Korea or North Korea? North Korea. North Korea, like, they believe like the sun sets because of the all-knowing holy one, like Kim Jong-un, his dad, him, like, they believe he is a god. They believe that the sun rises because of him. And like, it's just massive mental illness. Those people are in a mental prison. So are the Chinese. A lot of them know that. And that's the problem in Hong Kong right now. That's why these people are defying, and they're trying to fight the Chinese communist takeover of Hong Kong. Even though they just staged their own candlelight vigil again for the 20th anniversary of Tiananmen Square, which, look into it. The Chinese, these are the people who, all these lefties and idiots want to, Trump fighting with the Chinese, we're going to go to war. Well, you know what? He's the only one that's ever had the audacity to stand up to them. These people kill their own people for speaking up against the power of the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP. Tiananmen Square, there was a bunch of college students 20 years ago that said, we want free speech. And they dared stand up to the government and protest at Tiananmen Square. The Chinese brought the military in and killed almost every one of them in broad daylight. That is the map that's coming to America. The social score, the social indexing. They want a communist takeover of this country. That is what Antifa is. They want a communist takeover. And it's all going to be controlled under technocracy, which is the control of the people through technology. I don't want to get into any of this. Sorry I got off on a tangent. I'm going to title this something like, I'm sorry, y'all, or sorry, my brothers. I'm sorry, my brothers. Truth, facts, and logic do not support your feelings. Truth, facts, and logic do not support or even care about your feelings. Okay? Again, I deal in facts, I deal in logic, I deal in truth. If I don't have any or all three of those things, I expect you to hold me accountable. I want to play a video for you guys. Let me get back to, like I said, logging out of YouTube, clearing out all of your cookies and history and all. Start fresh. Go there and let not the communists, let YouTube and Google show you what they're trying to cram down everybody's throat. Before your algorithmic prison, which they will still try to squeeze in what they want you to see and the narrative they want you to follow. But if you log out of everything, you get out of your algorithmic prison and you get to see what the rest of the world are. Because the sector's a cesspool. It's a complete cesspool. The Boit is a cesspool. But the people in the Boit aren't, shout out to all my Boit people, but the people in the Boit aren't, they're nowhere near as dangerous and vindictive as the people in the sector. Again, this is about none of this. I'd like to show you something that was it's still number 13 trending. Okay, I got to get my bucket ready for this because I think this is 48 times now, but let me go ahead and hit play on this. Let's see something here. Here we go.
Okay, let's try this again. So, welcome back to our channel, all family members who have watched. Anybody coming from a different channel, different platform, welcome, and I hope you will give me a chance to listen and to explain. But I want to make this clear first off, I am not in the right mental state right now. I'm not doing well. No, this is not me trying to say, oh, look at Karuna, she's a victim, she's trying to sweep this under the rug. No. To anybody who doesn't know, yesterday morning I woke up to find a post from a ASMR artist called Chill Pills ASMR, which I will put right here in a moment. Somebody by the name of Southern Sounds ASMR, also known as Mary. She made an Instagram post, which I will post in a moment because this is not what she meant.
Something about, let me try to rewind this a little bit. This is another ASMR artist, is what they call themselves.
Moment, because this is not what she meant.
Hang on. These are the people that sit and go, hello, how are you feeling today? How was your day at work? It's some sort of, and I'm positive it's probably caused by vaccine brain damage, but there's a whole class of people that get into this. They love to listen to people talk like this. And all it really takes to be an ASMR artist is what they call themselves. All you need is a $1,000 microphone, a couple pieces of equipment, and you too can be an ASMR master, and just sit there and whisper to people on YouTube. There are literally millions of people who do this. And I'm not sure how they get to such high levels of popularity. I have no idea. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I get it in a way, and then we can get into the Schumann resonance, but this isn't about that. Anyway, as a reminder, anyone who posts political or religious things on this page will be blocked. I won't be doing it, and neither will anybody else. There are plenty of places online to do that, and ASMR page is not one of them. If this bothers you to the point that you feel the need to unfollow me or unsubscribe from my YouTube channel, I bid you a fond farewell. Thank you. Okay. And then she's like, this is not the person who's on the screen. This is somebody she's beefing with. I've had a surge of people messaging me today, both here and on my Facebook page and my channel, blasting me for not making a video about the current situation here in
as you can see
here in the USA, okay? Again, which are millions and millions and millions and millions of people are talking about this, including just like COVID, every single news outlet, live coverage of the government-sanctioned riots. Like, again, I talked about this on Maurice Delk's show the other night. That video's on the channel here, but. You know what? We'll get into it, but I just really want to. I want people to start understanding that these people. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh my God, hold on. I'm getting the swallows. I had to get my because you have no idea what I'm about. What I'm about to play. Okay. Well, maybe you do. Because I read a document that was released for one of the Black Lives Matters group recently, and they're talking about this is instructions for white people if you're going to be coming to a protest. You know, they talk about do not lead any of the protest unless you are asked to. Do not become a caller or a yeller or whatever they call them. You're only there to have your voice heard and backed up. You are not a leader in this. White people, when called, will walk to the front of the line and create a human shield. They'll create a human shield for the rest of the protesters. Like, it's oh my God. Oh, please. I can't do this show with my head in a bucket. Oh my God, please. I can't. Take a deep breath. Okay. I'm sorry. I got to keep this bucket here. But this ASMR artist, this woman here, who wants to apologize for being white, is beefing with another ASMR person who doesn't want to have anything to do with political or Black Lives Matter or she don't want it on her channel. If you want that, there are millions of other people doing it. Go get it. Okay? But the woman, this white woman has a problem with, which I'm sure is another white woman. They don't, just listen. This is unreal.
In that Instagram post, she states that any political or religious views are not welcome on her channel and that anything will be blocked or deleted. When I saw that on Twitter, with everything going on right now, with getting on social media, with all of us seeing all of the rioting, all of the protests, people trying to make a change, people trying to make a voice for Black lives and everything.
Ma'am, do you think Black people need your help? Like, this is so offensive to me, and we're going to get into this. Again, truth, logic, facts do not support your feelings. So if you're starting to get your Philly feels right now, and this is mainly for the Black men, the racist in the sector that hate watch me, or you've seen some white pussy on the screen, so you're like, let's say it. Oh, that's Covert, that white devil, but look at that little Marshall up on the screen, my brother. Anyway, anyway, yeah, we're about to get into it. We're going to get deep into this. Okay. I'm going to do it quickly as I can. It's like a Band-Aid. You know what I'm saying? But if you're starting to get in your Philly feels, just why don't you skedaddle? Go watch Uma or Tariq. I'm sure they have some hate whitey rhetoric going right now. Or maybe you can go find a channel that's turned George Floyd into a martyr, just like Candace Owens said. And I hope I'm going to get into that. That actually deserves its own video. Candace Owens for President of the United States. I will quit everything I do to campaign for her and lobby for her. She's a Christian conservative. My head went numb watching her give an honest, truthful rendition of the situation dealing with George Floyd. And, you know, that begs the question to this. And I asked this the other day, and it was an all-black panel at the time when I asked this question. But I'm going to ask you this here before we get into this here with this white woman who wants to apologize for being white, okay? Let's take George Floyd, okay? In the exact same Mercedes-Benz truck, the exact same amount of alcohol in his blood system, the exact same amount of fentanyl in his blood, the exact same amount of meth that was in his blood, holding God knows how much counterfeit money, God knows how much more dope he was holding after he dropped the baggie on the street. And let's just say that instead of a cop that came up to him, it was another black male that walked up to the driver's side window and unloaded a clip into his skull. Then what? Then what? Would Black Lives still matter? Would there be rioting and all these white virtue signaling wannabe social media stars like this Scafuzzi right here? Delusional. Trying to virtue signal that I ain't taking a stand because the government said so. The government allow me to I'm going to burn down $1 billion corporation's one outlet store. That's going to change the world. And that's really going to show everybody Black Lives Matter. Nothing would have happened if another black male killed George Floyd. Nothing. Not a thing would have happened. It probably wouldn't have even hit the news. It would have just been another statistic. And this myth of systematic police racism, or this systemic and epidemic level of police, white police killing black men every day and every day and every day and once every 2 to 3 years. I mean every day. And like, it's like, are these people delusional? Like, I'm really starting to wonder if we actually live in the same reality. Like, I begged the question in one of my last few videos, why, when it's a white cop with a black male, why do people label it America's racial oppression? Why is that? Why is it not the insane military-trained officer who used excessive force? The single instant of a single decision made by a single person. Because listen to me, the stats, the facts, None of it. There is no evidence that shows this racial bias between white cops and black men. Between cops and black men, between cops, white men. Now we're starting to get somewhere. But it still doesn't change the fact that every single year, more police are hurt and killed by black men than police hurt or kill black men. Do you understand what I just said? Those are FBI statistics. Black men hurt and kill police at a far higher frequency and rate than what do police killing black men. White, green, yellow, or red, it don't matter. That is reality. Not some scafoozy virtue signaling for a bunch of other white liberals who are literally delusional. Go ahead.
As somebody, myself, who has made mistakes in the past, I got very angry as somebody who thought she was trying to make a change, but apparently this wasn't it, as they say. This ain't it, sis.
See how she's making it about her? This is, do you guys know what virtue signaling is? Virtue signaling is, you know, like Tommy did this one. Tommy Sotomayor's good for virtue signaling. You know, ladies and gentlemen, nobody reports on the time that I volunteer for Meals on Wheels, and I visit elderly, lower income men and women, and I donate a big portion of the money you give me, and you know, I go and I spend time and I deliver food and we talk. Knowing damn well that money's spent on prostitutes and like this, again, the factual evidence is one thing, and then what you say in public is virtue signaling. Like the time he also said he spent a summer going around Atlanta giving Subway sandwiches to black women. That never gets old. That's virtue signaling. That is what the majority of these white people are doing. Not all, because there are some people, white people, that are awake and they are aware of the situation. And if they're truly aware and they're truly awake, they are listening to me right now. This is virtue signaling. Here, let me pause this for 1 second here. Let me show you guys this. Madison Beer denies staging photos at a Black Lives Matter protest. I will not allow this to be spun into something it never was. Black Lives Matter, y'all. It took me 4 hours just to do my makeup, and I got my leather riot pants on and my Louis Vuitton clutch. Black Lives Matter, y'all. Ooh, photo op. Let's go down here. Photo op. She had a photographer taking pictures of her at her rally. Look at me, everybody. Look at me. I'm a social media wannabe superstar. I'm taking a knee. Oh my goodness, look at everything. Look, this shot says it all. I care so much. I care so much. I have a black militant fist raised in the air that are perpetually paid by people who sit in a terrorist state right next to Palestine. They're paid by them to keep separation and divide going in the United States of America. Militant groups like BLM are completely controlled offshore by billionaires. That's been proven. And George Soros is special. I don't know why I'm talking like that. No freedom till we're equal. And I will take a knee, and I'm wearing black to to signify that I'm aligned with Antifa because they all wear black. She got her black militant, black power fist up in the air and ready. And, hey, George, you got this shot. How's the lighting? Can you see my eyes? Can you see my eyes, George? Okay, let's get another one from my left side. You know that's my favorite side. Honey, do you know what equal actually means? Do you know what equal actually means? The noun, we'll say the noun. No freedom until we're equal. I will assume you're using that as a noun and not an, maybe an adjective, probably not a verb, but it's considered to be the same as another in status or quality. Equal is a noun, and it's a person or thing considered to be the same as another in status or quality. Honey, do you eat at the same restaurants Will Smith eats at? Are your kids going to have the privileges, the financial and economic privileges that Jaden Smith will have, hun? No, probably not. I don't even know who you are, but you must be somebody. You're probably a wannabe social media star, like the vast majority of these white people out here doing this exact same thing. But, yeah, that's what equal is. And see, that's what's wrong with this country. That's what's wrong with this country. If I was in charge of the country, which I will be one day, I don't know, who knows. But if I was in charge of the country right now, I would make sure that this entire country is turned to a meritocracy. That's exactly what it would be. It would be a meritocracy. And what does that mean? That's basically as simple as this. Everything is organized by merit. If you study hard, if you work hard, you're rewarded. That's life's rule. That's the universal rule. You study hard, you work hard. Or we can turn this into idiocracy instead of a meritocracy, like Idiocy, like the movie where, you think you're smart because you can read? That's what the country's turning into. A serf slave state of nothing but debt slaves. That's what we are. We're turning into idiocracy, not a meritocracy, which is what I would have. You do the work, you spend the time, you study, you work hard, you're rewarded. You get the job, you get the money, you get the loans, you get the credit. It has nothing to do with your ability to hold a sign and look pretty on Instagram. Okay? Or even take somebody like Sotomayor, who is a complete... Just don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. But yet he's been able to rob and steal and mislead and manipulate a bunch of people to get a ton of money. And he turned that into him pretending that he's earned to be who he is. You know, and then he tried to get more money. You know, he got all this money for a movie or something that he's still trying to sell. And he turned around and paid his child support and bought vehicles and rented mansions. And then he turned around and said, well, that's why you gave me the money. You want me to live a baller lifestyle. I have it. I have the recordings. That's not a meritocracy. That's a fraud. Okay? Candace Owens understands what I'm saying. And I understand what Candace Owens is saying. We're going to maybe get into this, maybe not. Because like I said, that deserves its own video. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the virtue signaling white people that are out there. The vast majority are wannabe superstars. They're out here with their mask and their black power and all this shit. Meanwhile, they don't have a fucking clue. They don't have she probably has more gold value on that. Just please don't get me started. Please. This makes me sick. This makes me sick to my stomach. Madison Beer denies staging photos at Black Lives Matter protests. Well, why is only Madison Beer, whoever that is, being called out when there are tens of thousands of white people doing the exact same thing? Streaming to their Instagrams with their $5,000 Rolex watch on and their $1,000 iPhone, telling everybody else how much they care. Right? Right. You don't care enough to know the truth, let alone care enough for somebody else's life. But let me get back to this scafoozy right here. Here we go.
I went on Twitter and I went on Instagram stories and I went on...
See, me. I went to this and I went to that and then I did this. This is about me. This is about me.
My community tab in front of, I think, 19,000 people saw it.
Look at, I can't. Oh my God, I hope I'm not. Oh no. Oh. Oh my God, I knew it. I can't. Oh my God, I gotta get through this. I'm sorry. Get some Pedialyte here. I'm sorry, God. I'm trying.
But regardless, I have over 1 million of us here, and I don't know the real numbers. I'm going strictly off of the likes on that comment. And what I said...
I virtue signal for likes and views and to be number 13 trending on YouTube. Okay, I know what the F I'm talking about. I'm a wannabe social media star, and I'm delusional, and I live in this bubble that I think is reality. Okay.
What's this?
Yeah, this is her big, long virtue signaling, let me remind everyone, this systematic oh my God, this systematic murders of black lives is not a religion or a political issue. All lives can't matter until black lives matter. Honey, answer this question. If a black male killed George Floyd, would you have posted this? No, because you don't really give a fuck. You don't care about the real problem, which is about 10 miles prior to where we're at right this second. We got to go 10 miles back and start fixing things. Economic is one. That's number one. Opportunities, jobs, economics. Okay? Here she is. Imagine a platform of over 260,000 subscribers and not doing a damn thing on there, even on other socials to help black lives. Oh my God, honey, you're going to save the black race. Woo! Oh, she's going to save the black race, everyone. Oh my, it's her. It's her with her 1 million likes and her 19 million subscribers and 87,000 skaboopy baps on Instagram. And I had, give me a fucking break, man. Where were you 2 weeks ago? You were living in your delusional bubble. That's where you were. This post right here is her summary to something. If you're black, don't you dare come to my channel to vent. See how she's virtue signaling? That woman never even said that. All she said is, if you're into the political shit and the shit that's going on right now, don't bring it here. ASMR is for people who want to relax. Nobody goes to an ASMR artist or channel to sit there and say, hey, did you see all those black people clubbing that white woman over the head with a 2x4? Did you see that? Did you see the video? Crime Stoppers is trying to find the 4 black males that beat that old white woman over the head with a 2x4. Because she was trying to protect her business from looters. Nobody comes to ASMR channels to sit and listen about David Dorn, who was a retired black male cop who was killed point blank. Tick, 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 tick. In St. Louis, he was shot point blank. And he died on the street like a dog. Tick, 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 tick. While a young black male walked around him with his cell phone. He wouldn't help him. He wouldn't try to stop the bleeding or call 911. Tick, 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 tick. It was more important for him to also try to stream and become a social media star. And just walk around him and film him and say, come on, OG. Come on, OG. You better than this, OG. You better than this, OG.
OG, come on, stay with me, OG. OG, stay with me. Stay with me, OG. Stay with me, OG. Come on, OG. Come on, OG. Come on, OG, stay with me. Come on, OG. Come on, OG. Come on, OG, stay with me. Come on, OG. Come on, OG. Come on, OG. Come on, OG. Damn, man, over some TVs, cuz. Over some TVs, man. For real. That's somebody granddaddy, cuz. Man,
Did you hear what she said? Fuck that old N-word. But she didn't say N-word. I don't use that word. Black Lives Matter. Black, where's she at here? If you're black, don't you dare come. I'm totally inventing what some other person said because I'm virtue signaling. Black TVs matter. Another black man is dead because of a TV. And the other black people around him say fuck him while the other one films it trying to get more likes on whatever social media platform. You know what the Bible says? Basically, I'm just paraphrasing. In the end, people will become lovers of themselves. You'll know basically when you're in the end days because people will become lovers of themselves. So far, that's everything that has happened up until this point. Everybody involved in this, except for the government, is in this for themselves. You may have 5%, maybe 4 to 5% of the people out there that actually care. They actually want changes. They actually are wanting to set peacefully and draft legislation or bills or create some sort of newer ideas on how to handle this. Like I've come up with the idea before on high-speed chases that there has to be a cool-down period. Because, again, I've watched hundreds and hundreds of hours of cops and all these things, live PD. And when they're chasing somebody, all that adrenaline, all that vitriol, all of it. And that's when they really hurt people. Cops. Because everybody's amped up. The sirens, the speed, the everything. I propose legislation that there has to be a mandatory cool down period. after any type of a chase, a high-speed chase, a vehicle chase, what have you, whether it's a minute, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, everybody has to gain their composure. Stop, breathe, deep breath, stop, breathe, proceed forward. Not run screaming, guns out, ready to drag somebody out of a window after they just flipped a vehicle 9 times doing 98 miles an hour in the middle of an interstate. That's what I'm talking about. Changes like that. You got about 4 to 5% of the people out there. And everybody else is like this guy here.
Man, f*** you, daddy, cuz. Man, f*** you, what y'all trying to do? F*** you talking about? Y'all kill this man over some TVs, cuz. Over some TVs, cuz. You hear me? That shit we could get, cuz. Over some TVs, cuz. Stop playing, man.
That's it. All over a TV. Where's his march? Where is his riot? Huh? Hey, looky, another ASMR artist who's using her comfort and privilege to stay quiet and believes black lives equal religion or politics. LMAO. See how much I care by putting this tweet across every single one of my social media outlets? I don't do a fucking thing ever. I've never been involved with anything ever. I just sit on my ass and do nothing and virtue signal, and now I act like I care because the government is allowing me to? Fucking trash can stay out of the A. This woman is trash because she don't want to turn her ASMR channel into another sounding board. Right, Google? Right, you got my back, Google, right? Google, the same company that helped the communist Chinese create software to keep their thumb under their people, right, Google? Google, you got my, I'm number 13 on trending. Hey everyone, make sure to spread the word.
And as you can see, I was pretty angry.
Very
angry.
You're just so angry. I'm so angry.
I basically told people to spread the word. Mary is...
Yeah. I'm sorry. Put that on the floor. You can see I'm pretty angry. I told everybody to spread the word.
Speaking up on staying silent, and that is not what anybody wants right now. People want answers for what's going on right now. Somebody who has, I'll be real, never really spoken about Black Lives Matter because of my privilege, because I'm comfortable in my life and I don't know what... I don't have anything left in me. Please, honey, don't do this. Please. I can't. I can't. But I want everybody to understand this type of white woman is the same exact white woman that's going to come up to you and say, "Oh, hey, can I touch your hair?" And all she cares about is virtue signaling. That is it. She don't give a fuck about black lives if they do or do not matter, nor do the vast majority, again, of people like her that are involved in this. people suffer from because of my privilege. I wanted...
Let me get that all in one rip there.
...is speaking up on staying silent, and that is not what anybody wants right now. People want answers for what's going on right now. As somebody who has, I'll be real, never really spoken about Black Lives Matter because of my privilege, because I'm comfortable in my life and I don't know what people suffer from because of my privilege. I wanted to make a change and I wanted to do something about it. And when I saw her posts, I became very angry and I posted those things. And as a result, Mary lost 4,000 subscribers.
Well, let's see how many we can get you to lose there, psycho. Okay, I can't do this anymore. I don't know who this woman is. Let's see here. Her name is Karuna. Can you guys see that? Let me change monitors here. Yeah. Karuna Satori ASMR. Psychotic, delusional, and a virtue signaling mess of somebody who does not care. And look her up in a week from now, and she'll be right back to doing whatever she was doing for the last 40, how old are you, hon? 38, 40 years of your life? Nothing. What are you apologizing for? See, this shit to me is more offensive than anything. I wish these people would just shut the hell up. They're so entitled and they're so delusional that they really think, and I'm not talking just about white people, because let's not get this twisted. This has become a military operation. They're destabilizing the country. They thought the coronavirus would panic people enough to get into rioting and food shortages and, mass. They tried to say, oh, the meat is gone. They're killing millions of cows and chickens, they tried. That was a last ditch effort to try to get people to go panic buying. People are too smart and they're on to the games. Especially when you have hundreds and hundreds of doctors who are coming out with facts. And information. It's a dangerous game, man, that's being played. And that's like Dr. Francis Boyle, I remember, came out back in February. This guy is a creator of the Bioweapons Act. He was one of the first people that came out and said the coronavirus is a biological warfare weapon. He knew that in February. And again, this is the guy, Dr. Francis Boyle, was the guy who wrote the Biological Weapons Act. And he gave a detailed statement back in 2019 that the Wuhan coronavirus is an offensive, not I'm offended, offensive as in war, biological warfare weapon. And the World Health Organization already knew about it. Fauci, they all knew about it. This was trying to herd the people under a medical tenocracy, technology-controlled medical enslavement, chipped, branded, mark of the beast. It all fell apart. I told you in Event 201 when I talked about Part 4. They talked about, the riots, worldwide riots. Because people were upset about the government not doing anything about the virus or not being prepared. None of that ever happened. Oh, well, looky here. They got their riots now. And it's the same. This is a military operation at this point. There's Kansas City police chief has come out and said, Why are we finding pallets of bricks? Here, stashes of bricks. Who is dropped? This is happening all over the United States. This is a coordinated military exercise to completely destabilize the United States. And these people that are out there are so stupid, they have no idea what's going to happen. They have no idea what's coming. Just like right now. Here, I'll show you guys this. Minneapolis officials move to dismantle the police force? Law and order under siege across the United States. This was yesterday. Elected officials in Minneapolis are vowing to dismantle the police department and have quickly initiated the process. It's already started. You better read between the lines. City councilors are moving to implement radical changes to Minneapolis law enforcement. I want you to quickly look into stats of areas in the United States, or even the world, even the civilized world, who are that operate without their own local police force. Look at the crime. Look at the stats. Look at the murder rate. Look at the look at the home invasions. Okay. Look at the response time when somebody actually needs a cop and they got to call in state police and they're about 20, 30 miles from you and it's going to take them a half hour or so to get there. This is what the government wants. Create the problem and then come in with the answer. But the answer is not what you people think you're going to get. I don't know what you think. What do you think you're accomplishing by burning down an auto parts store? Again, one of an auto parts store conglomerate who's owned by billion-dollar multinational corporations that have outlets all over the world. Like, what do you really think that's accomplishing? What do you think you're accomplishing by laying in the middle of a road and you have 50, 60 other entitled, delusional, and misguided virtue signaling wannabe social media super duper stars? Like this bukyak that I just had on the screen. Is that going to change anything? Are you going to get a couple likes? Maybe I'll get the trend on. Maybe Google will see me. And let me ask you this. Did you take a day off of work to do this? Like, no. What is that word? What word is that? Covert radio you speak of? I know you speak Latin fluently, but I mean, what word is this? Work. Here, look at my lips. Work. Watch my mouth. Work. Employment. Are you guys, all you rioters, are you calling off work to go and do this? You don't even know what that means because you don't work. You're not a contributing factor in society. You're either still living with mommy and daddy or Grammy or pappy, or you're in some level of subsistent housing projects, something, whatever, which, don't get me wrong, there are people that need it. But then there are also people who can't even fathom life without it because they've become so accustomed to their lifestyle of 8, 10 kids, money, child support, government, food stamps, doing hair on the side, nails, this, that, sling some dope, like living $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month without jobs. Generations. So, because I could tell you this, contributing members to society, the vast majority of them are like me. They're aware. The people that listen to Covert radio, we understand what's going on. And granted, the media is in control of this. They are blowing it 1 billion times out of proportion. They are making it look much worse than it actually is. But it's still getting bad, because once the actual military is once we're under martial law for real, which there's only pockets of martial law right now, curfews and do not go areas and blockades. What do you think is coming? You will not ever beat them unless we all work together. Unless we all work together. But I know the vast majority of you live with mommy and daddy or Grammy or pappy. You're walking around with one of their credit cards or their bank card, or maybe daddy gave you $20. Be safe. Mommy gave you $10 before you left the house. Or better yet, you're in college, right? A lot of you guys are in college. You're a good little debt slave, and you did the first 18 years right, and then you signed up to be an automatic debt slave for the next 20 years. By age 21, you'll be $100,000 in debt that's going to take you 20, 30 years to pay off at some ridiculous interest rate. I can defer it. Yeah, try that. Try that. I went to college for like a semester and a half or something, and I quit because I realized this fucking professor don't know jack shit, and I'm better off taking this money and buying books. And that's exactly what I did. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. But for all these other people who went and became an auto debt slave, good for you. Now you're living off government money and mommy and daddy's money, and you're living in college like it's reality. But the reality is, the real reality is, all you're doing is being indoctrinated by communists that hate this country. Why do you think China, there's an investigation right now of how much money China, the communist Chinese, are pouring in to the universities in America? Because it's programming. It's indoctrination. Communism is good. Tear down America. Tear down capitalism. Tear it all down and replace it with what? Your college degree in what? Philosophy. It's like Bernie Sanders. I made a meme in 2016 when I had something like, free education, free college for everybody, so that we can all read Shakespeare while standing in the soup line. Who gives a fuck about free education? There are no jobs. There are no jobs. It's all an illusion. And really, capitalism got to go too, because it's really not capitalism. It's monopolies. Google, Apple own 98% of every single cell phone in the world. So if you don't like what Google puts on your phone or Apple, you don't have a fucking option, and you won't have a phone. Oh, what? You got to have access to my camera and my mic and my friends and my likes and my messages? Well, no. Okay, then, go to somebody else. Oh, that's right. There is nobody else. We're a fucking monopoly. Just like YouTube. There's no freedom of speech. Twitter, there's no freedom of speech. This is a technocratic takeover. That's going to be ran by communists. Watch the Hunger Games. Do yourself a favor this weekend and watch the Hunger Games. Because these professors that are indoctrinating you, that are paid well to indoctrinate you, are nothing but washed up, acid dropping hippie bums. They're burnouts from the 60s and radical 70s, 60s, 50s, 70s, 60s and 70s radicalized. They're caught in a time warp. And they love this shit, man. How many college professors, one of the other times Antifa was gouging people's eyes out. Look at Project Veritas's new video. An undercover Antifa agent talking about they teach us how to gouge out eyes and, you know, how to do this and what to wear and where to meet and all this shit. They're worse than the cops. Like, they're literally worse than the cops. But again, these professors also live in a delusional bubble. They've never had a real job. They've never worked in the real world. Neither have you. Neither have the 98%, 95% of the people trying to tear down this country right now. Just like Bernie Sanders never had a real job. We're going to dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department and place it with a, listen to me, a transformative new model of public safety. What is that? I think Hitler called them the brown shirts, right? Isn't that what the Nazis called them, the brown shirts? We're going to replace it with a transformative. Yeah, they're going to transform your face with the butt of an M16. We're going to replace it with a transformative new model of public safety. City Council President Lisa Bender tweeted on Thursday, including a similar statement from Council member Jeremiah Ellison, son of the Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison. Wow. Ellison, who recently proclaimed his official support for Antifa, issued a statement with similar language saying, "We're going to dismantle the wait a minute. Are you, like, there's no way I'm reading this. There's no way I'm reading this. This is a fascist communist takeover. They are now saying, yes, this is a blue state. Yes, we're dismantling the police. What do you think's going to happen? They're going to do what they're told to do by Soros and everybody else that runs the Democrats. They're going to bring in the quotations transformative new model of whose new model? Who created this? It's in the wings, already ready to go. Listen, I didn't want this to be this long. I have so much more to cover. I have so much more to cover. But again, I am not going to sit quietly, and I'm going to start putting up my other channels because this channel can go down at any time. At any time. Last time I talked about a race war, it was up for a few months. All of a sudden, right before all this happened, I get a thing from YouTube saying they took it down. It talked about race war, Jade Helm. Look in my community tab. It's in there. But I'm not going to let this myth of systemic police racism and, you know, there's a black man that's killed by the police every time. It's not. No. That's not with the stats. That's not logic, and that's not truth. You want to talk FBI data? You want to talk about that over 40% of cop killers are black? You want to talk about that? That's a real number. That's a real number. You want to talk about the cops kill twice as many white people every single year? Do you want to talk about the fact FBI crime stats that whites and Hispanics die from police homicides more than blacks? Do you want to talk about that? There's a bigger problem here, and it's bigger than white virtue signaling wannabe delusional social media wannabe superstars. It's bigger than George Floyd blown out on fentanyl. It's bigger than that. Oh, why are you so insensitive? I'm not. I'm a realist. I'm talking truth. And if you don't see it, then you're lost. And I highly suggest you wake up and open your eyes. I'm Covert Radio. Check out the channel. If you guys want to support this type of media, become a Patreon. We have much more to come over the weekend. You guys take care. Have a good day.